Hey everybody, I wanted to get started on a video because I haven't done any in a very long time. And this one's going to be about managing interfaces in a Linux environment, primarily aimed at those who are new to Linux and maybe those who have used Linux in the past and aren't used to the new way network interfaces are sometimes managed using Network Manager. Primarily CentOS, Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and Debian all use Network Manager. And we'll get started right away on how that's done, because I've had a lot of questions come up about this personally and in work. One of the first things people do generally, and the scenario here is, let's say you have gone through your initial deployment of Linux and you forgot to add a DNS server or want to add another one, or it's an appliance, and the appliance's script did not give you room to add an additional DNS server. So that is the scenario we're going to run off of here. So most people would generally just edit this file, good old resolve.conf. Edit your name, add your name server, off you go, you're good. But most people have been conditioned simply not to read this over time, or maybe they just have never had an issue to need to read it, but very clearly says do not edit. Perhaps they should put that in multiple places, even at the bottom in all caps, so people maybe perhaps get the point. But people who are new to Linux sometimes might be overwhelmed by looking at all the stuff they have to read, and that can be a problem. So without further ado, what I want to give you up front is sort of an easy way of fixing this, nmtui. I haven't tried all versions of Linux, but I'm going to go ahead and say that most distros are going to offer you the ability to use nmtui. I have not yet run into a current distribution that doesn't allow you to use nmtui. Gives you this kind of beautiful sort of screen here. You can edit a connection, and I'm going to show you two different things here. First is going to be Ethernet 0, which isn't actually ETH0. The device is actually ENP0S17. I was doing this to show somebody earlier that yes, you could change the profile name to match what you might be used to if that's what they wanted to do. Just be careful with profile names, because profile name does not equal device name, although you could make it that if you wanted to. But as you see here, he went and add his DNS, and it's all in there, all good. As you see here, I added a new connection, wired connection 1 with spaces. On a new device I added as ENP0S8. And as you see, I actually even added a DNS server. But I'm going to go ahead and remove it just so that way I can show you that you could add it or subtract it in here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Hit OK. And let me just go back up here. I'm going to go ahead and reactivate it. All right, so nmtui, edit connection, hit your connection up, show, oh wait, I need to add a DNS server. Off you go. You hit OK, and then back, and then OK. Or hold on, back and quit because you've made a change. What I always like to do is, generally some people when they're trying to bring the connection down and up using nmcli will get frustrated because they perhaps might be using the device address, and that's not what you need. Instead, what you need is nmcli connection show profile name. That's what you need, wired connection 1. And this is why you see me do nmcli connection down, and then obviously in double quotes, wired space connection 1, and Linux is case sensitive, so it must be a capital W to match. And then if that succeeds, in the same line here, we nmcli connection up, wired connection 1. Just something from the past I've been conditioned to do, kind of bring it down and up. Now, how do you see it? Because obviously, if you do cat etc resolve, it's not in there, and it might frustrate you. Nevertheless, let me show you nmcli output connection show wired connection 1. Use P because it stands for pretty, gives you a nice output. As you see right here, IPv4 DNS is added. Now, what about via the command line? So let's just go ahead and go back in here. I won't show you remove, okay, back, whoops, back, quit, there we go. As you see, DNS is gone. Now, what a lot of people get with the syntax here is what they get wrong, and what I've seen people get it just about right, but there's a couple of problems. They'll do nmcli connection modify, and then they'll try to use what's that, emp0s8. That's the first failure, and then they'll do ipv4.dns. Well, there you go. What you need to be doing is sudo nmcli connection modify the profile name, wired connection 1. Then you're looking to add the plus sign, IPv4 DNS. Took it beautifully. Let's show it. There you go. All in there. And if you're weird like me and you just have to do that reset, do it. Probably don't have to do it. I'm just conditioned like that. Probably in production environment, I would not do that. But I'm weird. I like that. So that's how you actually do it. And once again, nmcli connection show gives you that output. We see here that that's the profile name attached to that. And you can change that connection. You can change that profile name in nmcli or nmtui. nmtui, it's right there. Backspace it out. Add what you want. Be careful with that. You will need to remember what that is. But once you do it, it will show up here under nmcli connection show. And then for restarting, once again, nmcli connection down or up, and then put your profile name in there. Oops. So that's the simple way of handling it. nmtui for those that want to do it that way if it's ad hoc one time or not that often, and nmcli for if you have to script it. But I hope it's been informative for you all, and if you have any concerns or improvements I need to make, or if I've made a mistake, please let me know. And thank you for watching. See you next time.